Hey everyone, it's me, Squid, and I decided to take the next big step in my life and make a gaming channel. Now you may be wondering, is it on YouTube? Nah, I decided that YouTube isn't the best platform to gain an audience on anymore, so that's why I'm deciding to upload to Vimeo under the name The Mario Paint Guy. This game sucks. It's a steaming pile of dog shit. It has no characters, no story, and the art style sucks. Why can't it be a good game, like Mario Paint? The biggest problem, though? I have to come up with something to talk about. I can talk about anything, really. I have Quake, Quake 2, Half-Life Blue Shift. Hell, I even have Duke Nukem Forever and Counter-Strike on Xbox. I can go on and on about the Platinum Hits release of Portal 2 with its ugly spine and all. This gray case doesn't feel premium, it feels like something they have on display at IKEA. It's been some time since I've talked about the Doom series, when I talked about it 6 months ago and tried to give it to everyone like it was some sort of disease. I could talk about Doom 3, I have it on PC and even right here on Xbox. Why not give that a whirl? I mean, surely there's no other Doom games I have to talk about before that. It's January 1994. Doom was released a month ago and is already selling like hotcakes. At this point, it's installed on more computers than Microsoft's Windows. And it's only been a month. But people are hungry for more. Doom is replayable, no doubt, but since the last game ended on a cliffhanger, there is a demand for a continuation. This led to id Software creating a sequel to Doom, the famous... I really wouldn't doubt if it was that either. No, of course not. But we still have to talk about the one, the only, Doom 2, Hell on Earth.
When you want to play the hottest, fastest, most advanced fighting game ever, forget everything else and play Doom 2 on your PC. No other game gives you the incredible realism, the 360-degree smooth scrolling, and explosive action like Doom 2. It's easy to start playing, but it won't let you stop. Doom 2, it will consume you.
Yeah, that's right, the sequel to Doom. This one is a little bit iffy to me. On one hand, the new additions to the game are insane and are really good unless it's the pain elemental, but at the same time, the level design has aged a lot. Doom 2 was released on October 10th, 1994, exactly 10 months after its predecessor, and cleverly one of the days of the Doomsday Rule. Due to it being released around the same time as the creation of the ESRB, Doom 2 is one of the first video games to boast a mature rating. It reuses the same engine from Doom 1, obviously, and that means everything, and I mean everything, makes a return, except for the levels, the music, and some textures. That means there's no graphical improvements, drastic gameplay changes, or major technological developments. Instead, id Software used the rapid growth of PC technology to make larger and more intricate levels. And let me tell you, the levels in Doom 2 are huge, for better or for worse.
The graphics are a lot better, and it's not too Nintendo-ish.
Sure thing! It became the best-selling game by id, selling 1.81 million units until Doom 3 surpassed that in 2004. So without further ado, let's jump right into Doom 2. The first thing you'll notice is that there's no episode select. This is because there are episodes, but instead of selecting them, it's all one single segment. The 3 episodes are the Space Station, Earth, and Hell. By the time you get to the Earth episode, you'll already have the entire arsenal of weapons. For example, the shotgun, rocket launcher, and chainsaw in the first map, all accessible via secrets. The plasma gun is available in a secret in map 5. The BFG is available in a secret in map 8. The only 2 non-secret weapons are the chain gun, which we will get to in a bit, and the best shotgun in any game. The only new weapon addition in Doom 2, the double-barrel super shotgun. While this bad boy takes 2 shotgun shells instead of 1, the sheer power of the super shotgun completely makes up for that. It tears through groups of enemies like wet tissue paper and makes you more of a threat than any demon in the game. You get this weapon pretty early in a game in the room in the second map. The sound this makes is completely unmatched, absolutely powerful. It's like smashing 2 nuclear weapons together. it really gives it the name of the Super Shotgun. I believe that sound design is the most important thing in an FPS game. With terrible sound design, weapons just feel unsatisfying to use. That's probably why the shotgun has yet to be matched. The chain gun makes a return.
Thank God!
But the first instance you get it is after you kill the first new enemy in the game, the chain gunner. Called the heavy weapons dude, just like the sergeant or shotgunner, it's called the chain gunner because of popular consensus. Rapid firing bastards, these guys can really ruin a run. Even individually they're pretty bad. Just be careful running into a room with them. They are pretty weak though, can't be down in a single well-placed shotgun shell. The next enemy you meet is in the waste tunnels map, which the sewer section looks like literal shit, and is the same map you can get the plasma gun for the first time. Open this red door and...
Is that a Baron of Hell?
Nope! This is the Hell Knight, a recolored version of the Baron of Hell with less health. That's all it is. If you know how to dodge projectiles correctly, then this should be a breeze. 3 super shotgun hits and he's toast. Right, I forgot, I'm talking in terms of ultra violence. On lower difficulties, the Hell Knight doesn't appear there, but he does appear in the next map in a group of 3. The Crusher introduces 2 things right from the start. The Megasphere, which can be accessed via this secret pillar and a secret wall later into the map, and yet another enemy, the Revenant. The Megasphere is like a supercharge, but it sets you at not only 200% health, but 200% armor as well, while providing 50% damage absorption. Unlike the supercharge, it doesn't matter what your health or armor is, the Megasphere will always set it to 200%. And don't worry, Revenant fans, I didn't forget about you guys, calm down. The Revenant is a funny looking skeleton that has a vest that shoots rockets and blood for pants. It has 3 attacks, a punching melee attack that makes a very comical sound effect, a normal rocket, and a homing missile. The homing missile can be dangerous if you get cornered up, but just try to circle around it. This level also reintroduces us to our old pal, the Spider Mastermind. We won't be seeing it for long since it's in the Crusher, a shame. Right after the Crusher, Map 7, Dead Simple, is not only one of my favorite maps, but introduces 2 enemies, the Mancubus and the Arachnotron. The Mancubus is a fat slob that shoots huge fireballs that do massive damage. One of the stronger enemies, even if I don't have any issues taking them out with a nice arsenal. Some people say that he's a mini cyber demon, and while I can kinda see that, I don't really agree. What totally is a minified version of a Doom 1 boss, however, is the Arachnotron. This is basically a mini spider demon, and instead of having a chain gun that's more like an auto shotgun, the Arachnotron just has a plasma gun. Same thing with the Mancubus. While it's kinda tough, the Arachnotron is pretty easy to take out with enough ammo. After that, there's 2 enemies left to introduce. First is... the Pain Elemental. I despise Pain Elementals, the worst enemy in Doom, period. I wish these things never existed. They only exist to be a pain in the ass. Why do I hate them so much? Well, Lost Souls were the most annoying enemy in the first Doom game, right?
Well, some jackass thought it would be a good idea to make an enemy that fucking spawns them. God, I'm done with this stupid, dumb game.
Pain Elementals can make a room filled with Lost Souls. Just because of this makes them the deadliest enemy, since Lost Souls can block your path so easily. Using rockets on them is dangerous if not from a very long distance. In any combat situation, Pain Elementals are target number 1. Finally, the last enemy is introduced in probably one of my favorite Doom 2 moments ever. This room with 2 imps and a pillar seems innocuous, right? Well, enter the room and you get introduced to my favorite new enemy addition in Doom 2. The Arc Vial. Its primary attack is a hit scan attack that ends with an explosion. The other attack it has isn't necessarily an attack, but it's the ability to resurrect dead enemies. To a new player, the Arc Vial is very deadly. If you are new and you want to learn how to properly kill an Arc Vial, well, I have one tip. Get behind cover. If the Arc Vial can't see you, it can't hurt you. Another tip, use the Super Shotgun. Since it fires 20 pellets, there's statistically a 50% chance that the Arc Vial will go into its pain state and cancel out the attack. If you know how to fight one, Arc Vials are less deadly than Pain Elementals. That's all of the new monsters in Doom 2. These new guys alongside the returning roster from Doom 1 makes the whole thing feel really balanced. You have enemies of all types, and combat is a breeze if you know what you're doing. Now, since we've introduced all the new monsters, let's get into the maps. The maps in Doom 2 make the game a very mixed bag. At its best, Doom 2 is... yeah! At its worst... I don't want to put most of the blame on one person, Sandy Peterson, But there are some levels in this game that are just so tedious I'd genuinely rather shove peanut M&Ms up my nose. Instead of taking every map and regurgitating sentences to you, I'm just gonna take my favorite and least favorite maps and give a brief review to each.
It's time to play America's favorite game show. What would Squid rather do? Are you ready, Squid? Alright, starting out. Would you rather dig a grave barehanded, or play the pit in Doom 2?
Dig a grave.
Kicking off my least favorite maps in order of when they appeared in the game, I dread playing map 09, The Pit. There is one memorable encounter in this entire map where you get surprise ambushed by chain gunners and shotgunners, but other than that, the only thing I remember this map for is the sheer amount of pain elementals and the fact that it ran me out of ammo once. I may be too hard on this map because of the pain elementals and the ammo scarcity, but really, the lack of ammo in this map is insane. You're gonna have to chainsaw berserk a few things here. Many of the pain elementals don't even spawn lost souls though. Downtown is horribly designed. I don't know what crack Sandy Peterson was on while making this, but this doesn't look like a downtown at all. My only guess is that Doom Guy is in Detroit, but I don't know. Pro tip to any game mapper, if you need a comically large arrow in the ground to guide players, your map is horribly designed.
Would you rather kick a puppy, or play Nirvana?
Kick a puppy.
The name of Map 21 Nirvana is kind of ironic given the fact that this map sucks. The medkits around here are just useless, none of the rooms seem to connect aesthetic-wise, and it's just a very uninteresting map. It's not difficult by any means, it's just a painfully mediocre map. Getting the blue key is rather asinine here, and while you also only need 2 keys in the Citadel to exit that, I can forgive it for being an actual decent level. This is not.
Would you rather be crucified, or play Barrels of Fun?
What do you think?
Barrels of Fun
No! No! No!
is anything but fun because of the dumb placement of pain elementals. I'd rather f***ing off myself than play this map. Hell, this map alone is probably suicide. That's it, just get rid of the pain elementals and this map will be at least a little bit tolerable. I like the Spider Mastermind and Arachnotron infighting here. The whole concept of a map themed around explosive barrels is really fun. It just sucks that there's only 3 rooms that even utilize that. Also, it sucks that this map is absolute garbage.
Would you rather do dirty work in the sewers, or play Icon of Sin?
The former.
This is the worst point of Doom 2. The Icon of Sin is the final boss, and famously, it's really just Inspector Gadget. It's not fun at all. It's just a game of timing and trying to dodge enemy fire. You're f***ed if an arc vial spawns. You can cheese it using mouse look, but if you want to stay classic and use Doom's auto-aim, well, I hope you recover soon. I know I am. Also, the map is just horribly designed itself. I wouldn't call it a boss battle. The Bruiser Brothers in Doom 1 were more of a boss, and those were just 2 Barons of Hell. Now, 26 years later, it would finally make a better Icon of Sin fight with Doom Eternal. 26 years later, though, come on, that's just lame.
Would you rather eat asparagus, or
Yeah, I'll do that. Fine, whatever.
or play Dead Simple?
No, I want to play Dead Simple.
Yeah, we're on to the good maps. Dead Simple is really just that. It's dead simple. A square courtyard-like layout with the first appearance of the Mancubus and Arachnotron. It is quite easy. You kill all the Mancubi or Mancubuses, whichever you want to call them, and then the wall lowers to reveal Arachnotrons. This map has special scripting that lowers sectors when the Mancubi are killed and raises when the Arachnotrons are killed. This can be used for really interesting opportunities and maps in the 7th slot. Dead Simple as a concept, though, has been done to death. Most fan-made level packs have a Dead Simple clone as their map 07. There have been some clever uses of it though, such as utilizing the sector lowering for a secret. Wow, Sandy Peterson making a map that isn't mediocre or awful. My next favorite map is Entryway just because it's the first map, it's iconic, and it houses some spectacular death matching. Entryway is the first level, and to add some difficulty, I sometimes go chainsaw only. The secrets here are very satisfying as well. It's kinda like a harder E1M1, definitely not a bad start to a game. Circle of Death, or is it O of Destruction? Circle of Destruction is a John Romero map. Romero made like 5 maps for Doom 2, most other maps were the work of American McGee and Sandy Peterson. In fact, Peterson had most of the maps. 18 out of the 32 maps in Doom 2 were Peterson's work. That's why a lot of his maps aren't the greatest. Anyway, this map has the arc vial reveal. While some say this reveal is rather lame, I believe this was a great way to reveal him. While it could have been better, no doubt, I feel like this not only gives an example of how to counter it, but also its abilities. The imps show that it can revive dead enemies, and the outside can provide cover. One thing I would do to make this map a little better is to make the reveal slower, but whatever, it's still a great map. The end is a slog, though. Refueling base comes right after the pit, and even though this map is kinda hard, that's mostly due to the amount of ammunition, or lack thereof, the pit leaves you with. It also has the highest enemy count in this game, with 244 monsters if you play on Ultraviolence or Nightmare. This map is special. It's a map from Tom Hall that was cut from Doom 1, but refined by Peterson and added in Doom 2. I think a lot of this is obvious with some texture choices and room layouts that feel straight out of Deimos, even if this map was originally E1M6 in an alpha build of Doom. My biggest tip to beat this level is to use the Berserk. Industrial Zone is yet another Romero map, and probably the best and only good city level. This contains the entrance to the secret levels, and I feel like everything is placed well here. I don't have many issues with this map other than getting the red key here. This confused me when I was a kid around 2 months ago. I didn't realize you were supposed to go back through this teleporter, so this key was always optional to me. On one of my playthroughs, I accidentally went through the normal exit that takes you to suburbs because I've never taken it before. I almost always go through the secret exit. Wow, Sandy Peterson making a map that isn't mediocre or awful. Just kidding, this is literally the first level in Wolfenstein 3D. Peterson is credited for porting the maps to Doom 2 though. The only thing that he didn't do was add this secret, which is cool. Instead of having normal hit scanners, these maps have their own exclusive ones, the SS guards from Wolfenstein 3D. They didn't add the dogs from that game though, so they replaced them with pinkies. I will say that makes this room rather comedic if you know what's in this room in the original game. The super secret level, found by accessing the secret exit in the secret level, is just the boss battle from the first Wolfenstein 3D episode, but instead of the boss that would usually be there, it's a cyber demon. Making the Nazis and the cyber demon infight will shed time off your hands even if you don't get the satisfaction of ending them all. The ending requires you to kill 4 Commander Keens to leave. These secret levels are pretty cool. Final map I'll be talking about is the Living End, an absolute banger of a penultimate map. The fights are great, hordes and hordes of enemies. I'd say the worst thing about this map is accidentally stepping into the exit during the awesome Cyber Demon fight at the end. Sucks that this wasn't the last map with the Icon of Sin battle at the end. Fuck me, I forgot to talk about the Inmost Dens, which is a fantastic map. I don't need to say much other than this is one of the most fondly remembered maps. Doom 2's level design is the worst part of this game, and it's truly a relic of its time.
I love music. I love it so much that I own music.
Bobby Prince returns as the composer for Doom 2, yet all the music is completely different from its predecessor. While the music is obviously still heavily inspired by other music, it's not so blatant. The quality is much higher too, sounding less like generic MIDI music.
Time for a digression. I kinda hate it when people talk about all classic Doom music as classic Doom music, since it's just wrong. Both games have their own feel and styles to their own music. You really haven't listened to much Doom music if you generalize both games' music as the same thing, because they really aren't. Doom 1's music sounds more like MIDI-crushed versions of Metallica songs, while Doom 2's music has a lot more depth to it. I say that even if I prefer listening to Doom 1's soundtrack over Doom 2's outside of playing the game. I just went on a rant about Doom music. Is this what my life has come to?
Anyway, the music from Doom 2 uses the standard 12-bar blues chord progression. A lot. My favorite tracks are Running from Evil, Shawn's Got the Shotgun, Intermission, Doom, Into Sandy City, and The Demon's Dead. I think Doom 2 itself isn't the best, but gladly so many custom mod packs have been made for the game. Definitely get this one for the modding capabilities alone. The level design for most maps has clearly aged very poorly, and genuinely, I'd take a build engine game over a classic Doom game if mods weren't a thing.
All in all, Doom 2, while very fun at times, it's also very aggravating at others. It's a very primitive game. To make an analogy, Doom 2 is like a drawing from the medieval times. It's interesting to look back on, but it's definitely aged and just not really the best. Doom 2 has aged very poorly to say the least. It's like a modern day FPS game stripped down to its bare fundamentals, with level design that's about as fun as a day in the coal mines. It was a phenomenon though. The fact that not even the Quake series as a whole could beat it says a lot. I'd pick another game on the classic Doom engine any day, but Doom was an important game in history, especially Doom 2. Actually, I just realized something. Doom 2 sucks. It's not a fun game at all. So here's an open letter to the 1994 id Software team. Go f*** yourself. So Doom 2 got taken down, and I got a handwritten letter from John Romero telling me that he's sorry. You know what? This gives me a great idea. I should tell more companies to go f*** themselves. So here's one to Nintendo. Nintendo, go f*** yourself. What the the hell is a C ace and D sized?